Laura Ingraham in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Obama and his masters of control. That's the subject of tonight's Talking Points memo. Last night, we talked about how Senate Democrats, supported by the president, changed the filibuster rules to limit the rights of the Senate minority party. And now, a new domination move. This time limiting the right of the people to get an independent view of President Obama while he's conducting official business. 38 of the nation's largest news organizations, including Fox News, have lodged an official complaint against the White House for instituting onerous new limitations on photojournalists covering President Obama. Access to important executive branch functions is being shut off so that the White House can turn around and release its own official video or photos to journalists, kind of like producing it. Sounds like propaganda Pravda style. Fox News' Ed Henry raised this at the White House briefing yesterday.
You say that you're providing more access to the American people. You're shutting off independent journalists who want to cover those events, and you're having people who work for the president actually cover the events. How is that independent? How is that more access for the American people?
I think what I described that is that there are certain circumstances where it's not feasible for independent journalists to be covering the president. I think the best example of this would be in the Situation Room of the White House, where when the president's talking about classified issues, it's just not feasible for us to have those discussions about, where it's just not feasible for us to have independent journalists in the room.
How is that disruptive to bring?
Let me finish my question, my answer, which is where it's just not feasible in those circumstances.
Now, to some extent, every president tries to control his image. But as the press began to turn a more critical eye on Obama and his policies this past year, the White House has moved more aggressively to limit access and circumvent scrutiny. Call it Obama's Iron Curtain. And let's also not forget, by the way, that the Obama Justice Department secretly seized those telephone records of our own James Rosen and of the Associated Press. As the dean of the University of Maryland Journalism School noted, you're only seeing what they want you to see. This is a far cry from what Barack Obama promised in his first day of office.
Let me say it as simply as I can. Transparency and the rule of law will be the touchstones of this presidency.
Right. Those, of course, were just words, like his promise that you'll be able to keep your old health insurance policy under Obamacare. Didn't happen. But look on the bright side. The mainstream press is finally waking up, even if it's 4 years too late. And that's the memo. Now on to the top story, reaction. Joining me from the White House, ace correspondent Ed Henry. Okay, Ed, well,